Let's get brutally honest for a second. If he's not missing you right now, there's a reason. And it's not because you're not pretty enough, smart enough, or good enough. It's because you've been too available, too present, too emotionally predictable. You see, missing someone isn't born from closeness, it's born from absence, from uncertainty, from the space between your last message and his thoughts spinning in silence. Right now, he's not wondering what you're doing, who you're with, or why you're suddenly not chasing. Because you haven't stopped chasing yet. You've been trying to stay in his head by staying in his life. But that's not how memory works. What if I told you the most dangerous thing you can do is disappear strategically? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 5 powerful psychological tricks that flip the script. Tricks that trigger deep emotional patterns in the male brain. Patterns that make him obsess over where you went, why you're different, and why he can't stop thinking about you. This isn't manipulation, it's emotional awareness, and it's how you reclaim your value in his world. So don't skip, don't skim, because trick number 5, it's the kind of move that haunts a man for years. Let's begin. You've probably heard the phrase, absence makes the heart grow fonder. But most people don't understand how deep that really goes. This isn't just a poetic idea, it's rooted in how human attachment systems work. The male mind is especially reactive to space, distance, and unpredictability. That means when you're always around, always available, and constantly initiating contact, he doesn't get the mental space he needs to feel the loss of you. And here's the uncomfortable truth. People value what they fear losing. Think about it. We don't miss what's always there. We miss what we used to have, and now can't reach. When you pull back, and I mean really pull back, you create a vacuum, a void, and that void triggers a specific psychological response. His brain starts to fill in the blanks. Why hasn't she texted me? What's she doing right now? Did I do something wrong? Is she over me? And that spirals into obsession, especially if he had even a little emotional investment to begin with. The power of absence is not about ghosting, playing childish games, or disappearing just to punish someone. It's about being intentional. It's about understanding your value and recognizing that your constant presence was never the thing that kept him close. In fact, it might have been the thing pushing him away. There's something incredibly magnetic about a woman who knows when to retreat. It shows control, confidence, and most importantly, it forces him to lean in, because suddenly you're no longer in the palm of his hand. You're a mystery again. You've shifted from predictable and safe to intriguing and unknown. And that unknown, that's where attraction is born. When you make yourself less available, not just physically but emotionally and energetically, he's forced to confront the possibility that he doesn't have you as securely as he thought. And nothing wakes a man up faster than that realization. It's not even always conscious. It's an emotional alarm bell. His nervous system starts reacting, even before his mind catches up. Suddenly, your silence feels louder than your words ever did. Now let's be clear, absence only works when there was something there to begin with. If you were just chasing, begging, or trying to prove your worth to someone who never valued it, then silence won't do much. But if there was connection, even if brief, absence is a power move. It rewrites the dynamic. It tells him, you're not entitled to my time. My energy isn't free. You don't get unlimited access to me just because I cared once. And the best part, while he's sitting there wondering what happened to your energy, you're out living, glowing, evolving. You're creating a new version of yourself, one he doesn't recognize anymore. And trust me, that version, that's the one he starts missing in ways he can't even explain. So stop fearing distance. Start using it, make space, and let him feel the absence of the woman he once took for granted. If you want someone to miss you, really miss you, you need to understand something called emotional imprinting. This isn't about playing mind games. It's about understanding how memories are formed, and more importantly, which memories stick. People don't remember timelines. They remember how they felt, and the strongest memories we carry are emotional ones. The moments that made our hearts race, our stomach drop, or our souls feel seen. So what does that mean for you? It means that if you want to be unforgettable, you need to leave a mark, not by being constantly present, not by trying to be the best or do everything right, but by creating emotionally charged moments that attach your presence to a feeling he can't replicate with anyone else. You see, the brain doesn't store relationships like a checklist. It stores fragments, sensations, triggers. The way someone looked at you in a certain light, the way they laughed unexpectedly, the moment you said something that hit them in a way no one else had. An emotional imprinting happens in these small windows of intensity. It's not always romantic. Sometimes it's deep, raw honesty. Sometimes it's when you call them out with love, or when you show up with calm energy in the middle of their chaos. That's the secret. To become a feeling, not just a person, because people can forget names, faces, even conversations, but they never forget how someone made them feel in a moment that mattered. Now here's where most people mess this up. They think imprinting is about constant stimulation, spoiling him, over-investing, giving too much too soon. But that only creates comfort, not craving. Emotional imprinting needs contrast. He needs to feel the depth of you, and then experience the absence of that depth. That's what makes it echo. That's what keeps him up at night, replaying your voice in his head, wondering why no one else feels like you. A random date won't be remembered, but the moment you looked him in the eye and said something that touched a wound no one else saw, that stays. Or the time you were laughing together at something completely stupid, and it felt like the world disappeared. That becomes part of his emotional wiring, not because of the event, but because of the feeling. And here's where this becomes powerful. When you remove yourself after imprinting, he starts chasing the emotion, not just the person. He doesn't miss you because you texted every morning or complimented him daily. He misses you because the version of himself that he felt around you, that version is missing too. You created emotional contrast, and now he's subconsciously looking for that high again. That's the core of emotional imprinting. It's not about manipulation. It's about showing up with real presence, then walking away with grace, and letting the silence amplify the moments you left behind. Done right, emotional imprinting doesn't just make him miss you. It makes you unforgettable. Mystery is one of the most powerful psychological forces in attraction, and yet most people underestimate it. In a world where oversharing is normalized and everyone's life is on full display, the woman who holds something back becomes rare. And in the male brain, rarity equals value. The truth is, men are wired to be curious, to pursue what they don't fully understand. When something is known, predictable, or completely accessible, it stops being stimulating. That doesn't mean you need to be fake or play hard to get. It means you become selective with what you reveal. You allow just enough access to spark intrigue, but not enough to make him feel like he's already solved the puzzle. Most women sabotage their own mystery without even realizing it. They over-explain, they justify, they text paragraphs, they give the full story without being asked. And in doing so, they unknowingly strip themselves of the most powerful weapon in feminine energy, curiosity. Curiosity creates tension, and tension, that unresolved energy, is the very thing that makes people obsessed. The mystery effect works because it activates the part of his brain responsible for reward seeking. When he doesn't know everything about you, when he can't predict your every move, when he feels like there's more to you than what you show, his mind stays engaged. He keeps coming back, trying to fill in the blanks, and every time you don't give him the full picture, the pull gets stronger. Think about the people who've lingered in your mind the most. Were they the ones who poured everything out on the table immediately? Or the ones who gave you glimpses, just enough to make you wonder, what's their story? What haven't they told me yet? That's the effect you want to have. Not cold, not distant, but deliberately private. It's also about how you carry yourself. Do you pause before answering? Do you smile without explaining why? Do you walk away from conversations before they feel finished? Not to be rude, but to leave a sense of openness, an emotional cliffhanger. These subtle moves build mystery in ways words never could. And when he asks questions, don't always give direct answers. Be playful, be elusive, be a little unpredictable, not in a chaotic or manipulative way, but in a way that reminds him you're not an open book just waiting to be read. You are a novel with missing pages, a beautiful complication, and he doesn't get to speed read through your story. Mystery doesn't mean hiding who you are. It means revealing yourself slowly, with intention, layer by layer, emotion by emotion. And in doing so, you create space for him to lean in, to pursue, to invest more deeply, because he wants to understand you, not because you're begging to be seen. And when a man feels like he hasn't fully figured you out, that's when you live in his mind, rent-free. Controlled detachment is one of the most misunderstood and yet most powerful psychological strategies you can use when you want someone to miss you. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about genuinely learning how to care without clinging, to love without losing yourself, and to stay connected without becoming emotionally dependent. Here's the truth. The more emotionally attached you appear, especially too early or too intensely, the more predictable your energy becomes. And when someone can fully predict your emotions, your reactions, your presence, they begin to take it for granted. Controlled detachment breaks that pattern. It sends a silent but clear message. I care, but I don't need. And that shift in energy changes everything. When you're emotionally overinvested, you start reacting instead of responding. You overthink. You wait for texts. You chase reassurance. But when you're detached, not cold, not distant, but centered, your power returns to you. You're no longer emotionally tethered to how someone else behaves. And that makes you incredibly attractive. Men feel this energy shift immediately. They can sense when you've stopped placing them at the center of your emotional universe. They may not admit it, but they notice the change, the delayed responses, the lack of emotional urgency, the calmness in your tone. And that calmness, that indifference without hostility, creates a low-level anxiety in them, a sense that they may be losing their grip on your attention. That's where the missing starts. Controlled detachment doesn't mean giving the silent treatment or pretending to move on. It means living your life regardless of how he shows up. It's shifting from, how do I get him to respond, to, I'm gonna show up as the highest version of myself, with or without him. That's not ego, that's emotional discipline. And the power of it is in the consistency. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to make dramatic exits or post cryptic Instagram stories. Your energy speaks for you. You're not waiting around. You're not emotionally reacting to breadcrumbs. You're choosing peace over obsession, growth over confusion. You see, real detachment isn't withdrawal. It's clarity. It's knowing that your value doesn't rise or fall based on whether someone texts back, shows up, or commits. And when you hold that posture long enough, it starts to affect him. He begins to reflect. He starts questioning, why is she so okay without me? Did I lose my chance? Was she actually more valuable than I realized? And here's the beautiful twist. By the time he starts missing you, you might have already outgrown the version of yourself that needed him in the first place. That's what controlled detachment gives you. Not just the power to make him miss you, but the power to see whether you ever really needed him at all. Stay grounded, stay centered, stay detached with grace. Now that you've pulled back, created emotional distance, and let the silence do its work, it's time for the final move. Subtle re-engagement. This is where the dynamic can shift entirely, if you do it with intention, control, and grace. Subtle re-engagement isn't about reaching out because you miss him. It's not about chasing, explaining, or trying to reopen a door he hasn't knocked on. It's about showing up strategically, just enough to reignite curiosity and signal change without sacrificing your power. The truth is, after absence and detachment, his mind will start to drift toward you. He'll wonder where you went, what you're doing, why the energy feels different. And if he had even the slightest emotional connection with you, he'll start craving some form of contact, not necessarily because he's ready to commit, but because he wants that feeling back. This is your moment. But the key is, don't make it obvious. Re-engagement should feel like a glance, not a spotlight, a light touch, not a full emotional download. You might like a story, reply to something low stakes with a confident, casual tone. Maybe even post something that subtly reflects your growth, not for him, but for you. You're not waving your hand saying, look at me, I'm still here. You're simply reminding him that you still exist, and you're glowing. The reason this works so well is because it plays into contrast. He remembers the old version of you, maybe the one who was always available, always checking in, always needing some kind of reassurance. But now, the energy is different. You're calm, detached, unbothered. You're not proving anything. And that shift makes him question everything. What changed? Why does she feel so different? Is she over me? Did I lose her for good? Subtle re-engagement is most effective when it's not tied to an outcome. You're not doing it to get a response. You're doing it to remind him of your presence and to reintroduce a new version of yourself, one that is radiant, grounded, and no longer emotionally tied to his approval. And here's the magic. When he senses that change, he'll start pulling. The same man who once pulled away will now test the waters. He might send a casual message, ask how you've been, or try to recreate a past moment. When he does, don't rush in. Stay neutral, stay light, show warmth, but don't pour. He needs to feel that you're not emotionally dependent anymore, that he's no longer the center of your world, and that if he wants to be part of your new chapter, he's gonna have to earn his way back in. Subtle re-engagement isn't about going back, it's about showing up, evolved. And when done right, it plants the seed in his mind that missing you was never about the silence, it was about what he lost during it. Now he has to decide, does he step up or stay out? Either way, you've already won. So now you've seen the 5 psychological tricks that, when used intentionally, can make a man miss you on a level that goes deeper than physical attraction or fleeting interest. These strategies aren't about manipulation, they're about self-mastery. They're about understanding how human connection works and positioning yourself in a way that commands respect, desire, and emotional depth. But here's the truth. Most won't tell you. The ultimate goal isn't just to make him miss you, it's to make sure that you never miss yourself in the process of loving someone else. When you apply these techniques, absence, emotional imprinting, mystery, detachment, and subtle re-engagement, something powerful begins to happen. Yes, he might start texting again. Yes, he might start watching your stories, checking your energy, even circling back. But the real win is how much more in control, grounded, and magnetic you become, with or without his validation. And now, as promised, here's your bonus tip, one that ties it all together. Reinvention. Nothing makes someone miss you more than realizing they don't even recognize who you've become. Reinvention is that quiet, almost spiritual shift, where you level up your mindset, your habits, your boundaries, your energy, and do it not to prove anything, but to reclaim everything. You don't announce it, you don't post quotes about it. You live it, you glow differently. You speak more intentionally, you stop entertaining what drains you, and suddenly, the version of you that he thought he had figured out, she's gone. In her place is a woman who's not waiting, not chasing, and not explaining her worth anymore. That's the version he won't just miss. That's the version he'll obsess over, admire, and in many cases, regret losing. So if you take anything from this video, let it be this. You are not here to convince anyone of your value. You're here to remember it. Let your silence speak. Let your absence echo. Let your growth do the talking. Because the woman who knows her worth doesn't beg to be remembered. She becomes unforgettable. And here's the final twist. By the time he realizes what he lost, you'll be long gone, evolved, elevated, unreachable by the same version of him that once took you for granted. So don't chase being missed. Chase becoming the woman no one can replace. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, drop it in the comments so I know you made it to the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a moment of growth, glow-ups, and high-value energy. Because this isn't just dating advice, it's a mindset shift. And once you master that, you don't just attract love, you command it. Before you go, I want to make sure you get the most out of what you just learned. So here's exactly what you should do next to start seeing real change in your love life, starting right now. First, take a moment to reflect on the 5 psychological tricks we covered: the power of absence, emotional imprinting, the mystery effect, controlled detachment, and subtle re-engagement. Think about where you're currently in your relationship or dating journey, and ask yourself which one of these strategies feels like the missing piece for you. Is it stepping back with intention, creating emotional moments he can't forget, or maybe mastering the art of subtle re-entry without losing your power? Pinpointing this is key because change starts with awareness. Next, I want you to commit to action. Don't just watch and forget. Choose one of these tricks and apply it deliberately over the next week. For example, if you've been texting him all the time, try the power of absence. Pull back your availability and watch how his energy shifts. Or if you tend to overshare, practice the mystery effect by keeping some things to yourself and noticing how that changes his curiosity. Small intentional shifts make a massive difference when done consistently. If you're serious about transforming your dating experience, Here's a pro tip: journal your progress. Write down how he reacts, how you feel, and any shifts in your mindset. This creates clarity and helps you stay focused on your growth instead of falling back into old patterns. Also, if you found this video valuable, make sure to hit that like button. It not only helps me know what content you want more of, but also helps other amazing women like you find this video when they need it most. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon so you never miss the next deep dive into dating psychology, mindset mastery, and high-value relationship strategies. This channel is your safe space to learn, grow, and become the confident woman who attracts the love and respect you deserve. Lastly, I want to invite you to join the conversation down in the comments. Share your experiences or any questions you have about these tricks. What's worked for you? What's been challenging? Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Plus, I personally read every comment and love engaging with you all. If you're ready to level up even faster, check out the description box below. I've included links to exclusive guides and resources that dive deeper into these strategies. Some are free, some are premium, but they're all designed to give you a roadmap for emotional empowerment and attracting authentic connection. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every step you take moves you closer to the relationship you desire and deserve. So don't wait for him to realize what he lost. Start showing up as your highest self right now. Use these tricks not to manipulate, but to manifest the love that honors your worth. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. I can't wait to see your glow-up journey unfold. Until next time, stay radiant, stay powerful, and keep shining your light.